So I want to welcome you to a workshop creating a professional portfolio or any other presentation with Adobe Spark. My name is Chana and I teach here the ACA exams, Photoshop, Illustrator, and sometimes also InDesign. And on top of that, I do other seminars. Like I think in 2 weeks we're doing branding or infographics with Illustrator, and then we're going to do marketing proposals with XD. So we're trying to give you guys more other stuff to do after you do your real job at work here, and then help you to take your files and all the stuff that you need to do to another level. So I created a presentation and we're going to go step by step through that. I think they sent you when you signed up the link for it, but if not, I'm going to tell them to send the link to that. And also it is going to be recorded. So this all was done in Adobe Spark. So you can see that I can use it for other stuff too. I can use it even for instructional stuff or any other presentation instead of, let's say, using PowerPoint or Keynote or any other thing. And the good news about Spark is that it is very easy to learn. So some people will say, well, would it do this and this? And I'll say, no, it doesn't, because it's geared to be easy. So something super complex, probably you're going to do it in another thing. If you want the presentation sync for you and do other stuff, you might do a presentation in InDesign or other presentation tools. But this one is an immediate one. So let's say one of you get a phone call tonight. We need to meet you for a job and things like this. Can you present something about yourself? Could be a portfolio, could be a marketing collateral, or anything about yourself, and you're thinking, wow, am I going to go to WordPress now and start coding some stuff or not coding? Am I going to go to Dreamweaver or other places or anything to create a miniature web page or something like this? But that I need a URL for that, or I should just jump into Spark and I can do it probably in 10-20 minutes and then show up to the meeting with something that looks great. So what we're going to do here today, we'll emphasize especially Adobe Spark page, and then we'll jump a little bit into Spark video as well. But if you need to do a real big video, let's say about something incredible, of course you're going to do it in Premiere or Premiere Rush. You're not going to do it in Adobe Spark. You'll see it's kind of simple, but it geared to be so fast, so this is why it's there. So before we get started, what I want to do is kind of like what we'll cover today. So what we'll cover today is setting up Adobe Spark. So the thing is you need to do is basically go to the web, and I'm going to go with you in a minute. And also if you want to do it on a device, you can download it to any device that you have. And then on the device, it is an app. On the web, it's kind of like together. On the device, they separate it to Adobe Spark page and Adobe Spark video and Adobe Spark post. In the web, they call it video and maybe post, and the web, the page, they kind of call it web because it's kind of like pretend web pages. So then we're going to also set up our brand, and I'm going to talk to you about how do you set it up. And if you want to have your own branding on Adobe Spark, what do you need for that and how do you do that? And I can set it up for you. Then choosing a theme for Adobe Spark. What do you want? So we are a little limited because you can do some branding and choose the fonts that you have, but then people say, well, I'm rushed, I don't have even time to do that. How about I use the themes that Adobe Spark has already for me? And you know what? They're really awesome. They're nice. They also give, yes? It's similar, but a lot better than that. Kind of friendly user, but it's something like this. But yeah, a little bit like this. So I don't have Canva on the phone. Do you have? You can have it on your phone too. Yeah, I don't have Canva on the phone, and I don't like, actually, I shouldn't talk about it, but I don't like their templates. These guys are a little more professional templates. And also I'll talk to you about, we're not gonna get into it, but you'll see sometime some of my sample, you say, wow, how did you do it in Spark? I didn't do it in Spark right away. I went to Photoshop. and I made an engaging image, and then I put it into Spark. I went to Illustrator and I made a nice graphics, and then I put it into Spark. So you can engage it and make it a little bit better depending how do you want to do. But if you don't have time, you can create your professional portfolio very fast and in almost in no time. So we're gonna do talk about creating a personal statement and your goals. And I think this is beyond even Spark. You have to be really organized before you start, and I brought my professional statement. So if you don't have yours, or you can write something, you can use that, pretend that's you. But this is the most important thing. What do you want to tell everybody about yourself? And what do you want to achieve in the end? Who you are. So if you're a marketer, maybe you want to talk about some product that you're marketing, some campaign that you did, and the goals that you want to do in that. If you're a professional photographer, maybe you want to talk about that a little bit and about the images that you're going to talk about. If you're an artist, if you're a public relation person, maybe you want to talk about the campaigns that you're going to do. So all the stuff, you have to relate it to your subject. I'm like doing a lot of stuff here. I do a lot of my I do like a lot of the instructional stuff right away in Spark and send kind of a link to the student and say, look at that. And then also I put my portfolio in there. So I have a portfolio. I actually took off my regular website and I'm using Adobe Portfolio and Adobe Behance because I realized that nobody's looking at my website anymore. It's all about how you are promoting it. So I'm using Spark, and if I need to put it somewhere, I just send somebody a link and say, here's my artwork, look at that, these are my goals, this is what I want to achieve, and I just keep the other way around. Then prepare the images like I talked before, like description for images, when do you do that, when did you do that, what do you want to show. So if it is a public relation campaign, maybe you're going to have a lot of images from an event that you did. And just be careful if you're using a lot of images of people. I mean, ask them, can you include them in your portfolio and all the stuff that you have? And then I wrote create engaging images in Photoshop. And then do you want to include a link to your resume? So you can do that, and I can give you a clue how to do it. Because if you don't want to include the whole resume, because it's kind of long, what I do, I make my resume in InDesign and then do something called publish online and put a link within Spark, and then everybody can see your resume and even download it. I talk about your education, and then very important, talk about your social media and links, important links, because people would like to follow you and things like this. So where do I take my inspiration? So I put in here, I take my inspiration a lot, I go to Adobe Blog, but you can see here, if I click on this link now, if I'll give you this presentation later, I can click from here directly to Adobe Spark blog. That's not Spark, that Adobe Spark blog that I went in, and then you can see here how to repost your Instagram. Every week they do something. So how do you do marketing campaign? How do you do that? And they're giving you a lot of images and all kind of stuff here. So you can basically go back and forth to this area and look at that. So that's something good that you can do also. And you can see I basically included it in my link while I'm working with it. I'm just going to go in to exit the full screen so I can go back to my Spark. But you can see over here. Then another inspiration that I get a lot, and I tell a lot of my students, is to go to Behance. And if you have Creative Cloud, you have Behance as well. And if you click on Behance, you really get some inspiration there. So what does it mean? You want to go in and talk about social media, or you want to talk about, let's say, marketing campaign or something like this. So you can go in and say marketing campaign, and then something is going to go and show up here. So do you see here? Design identity. So that could be part of your marketing campaign. And this is a portfolio that somebody created. So you can see how you get inspiration, how to tell your brand story. So that could be a brand story for your stuff that you're doing and everything like that. So I really like to tell people, go there. And especially when you're at school, A lot of schools has amazing stories. So if you click at any university, a lot of places, and they're gonna post some galleries and everything. So highly recommend to go to Behance and look at the stuff they're doing. People will Google other marketing campaign and other stuff like that, but that's one of the places that I really go back to inspiration. So now let's jump in. I'll go back and forth between this, the presentation, and that. How do you set up your Adobe Spark on the web? So first of all, it's free. Absolutely free, even if you don't have Adobe Creative Cloud. So if it is free, you cannot create your own brand. So what does it mean? You use their themes, but it is free. You can go to the Apple Store, and this is basically, this is a screenshot about like going into Adobe Spark, like, and then like download. So this is going to be like the page. I mean, that's the page, that's the post, and that's the video. What's the difference between them? Post, it's really just social media, basically. You can also do posters. So that's something good. I mean, I'm going to show you how to do that too, because what if you need to do a fast poster for your campaign tomorrow? Like, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to Photoshop right now. I'm not going to Illustrator now. I have no time. I'm going to Adobe Spark, doing something very simple and posting it or printing it and things like this. So I kind of put this for you guys. You can download it. You download it for free, but you cannot do a brand, and you can, so that's kind of like one of the stuff. So you sign in with Adobe ID. So if I'm gonna go and click on the link here, basically it's taking it to your own page, and then you can go in and you start for free, and you click inside, and you can sign in with an Adobe ID. Of course, mine goes directly to my Adobe Spark, but if you do it the first time, and I ask you to do that if you can, just go to the landing page and sign in with Adobe ID, and then you're gonna get an empty page or something like this, and telling you what we saw before, how do you start everything that you have. So basically this is what you get. You can see it over here. You're gonna have a page. You're gonna ask you, what do you wanna do, graphics, page, or video? And that's how you're gonna start working with your stuff. So of course mine is already there, and you can see I have a huge landing page over here, but also what I have here, it just explore all kind of templates. So this is something like you ask about Canva, you have right away templates. So if you don't want to think, you can go right away to a template, and you can see here, start with a beautiful templates, and anywhere that you want here, you can explore all the templates that you have, and look what you're giving you. They have premium, social media, social post, Instagram, cards, poster, travel. This is basically post mainly the template that you have, but later on you're going to have some template also to go to Spark page as well. Does that make sense? So I kind of want to make sure that all of you have Spark on the web on your computer right now. And we're all having it right now. And they also tell you start a trial for free. You can do it for free all the time. They meant like start a trial for free if you want them to continue and pay for it. And all the way down you can see it says graphics, web page, and video. So graphic is post on the devices, web page is page on the device, and video is video. Does that make sense? So that's what you have in the beginning. So now if I'm gonna go into my regular project right away and then go back here to the first one, you can see here, and then start here for free. Of course, mine, I logged in with the same Adobe ID. So all what I have here, tell your story in Spark, and asking me, do I want to do any Instagram, photo collage, branding, but then these are my projects. So you can see here, they're divided in here, and that's my recent project. So if I'm going to go in and say view all my project, and I have a lot of them, I want to divide them into sections so I can show all. I can do newest to oldest, but I can also go in and say, let's see my pages. And you'll see the pages, the one I have the most, and sometimes it'll take a moment and you start loading more and loading more and loading more. Do you see? I have a lot of pages. I've been very busy creating kind of different stuff. Some of them have a portfolio in it, some of have other stuff in them, some of them has instructional. I even do Spark in different languages. So it will support other languages also if you need to do that. So it's just depending. I have one here that I have it in Hebrew because I'm originally from Israel, and I had like, I don't know, a party with a bunch of my friends, and I was here and they were there and they wanted me to send something. So I did kind of like a Spark page in Hebrew, which it was half a nightmare, the truth is, because it took a long time to do it, with typing left to right, right to left, but I end up doing it. So you can do different kind of stuff. You can tell your story about other events. I have a story about my family. I have even my ACA program here, so we advertise it based on that. And then, of course, this is the one we just did here. So what if we all wanted to create a new project right now? So the next thing we're going to look at here, we're going to look at creating or not creating a brand. So how many of you have Creative Cloud? So you have already Creative Cloud, so basically you can create your own brand. And you can see here, it used to be up, I think, up to like a month ago, you could have done only one brand, and now you can do more than that. I don't remember the limitation for it, but I was able to create another one already. And this is what you have. So this is the current one that I had all the time. It's about my company. And all of a sudden I saw, hey, create a brand. So what can you do with your brand? And let's see if we can do that. If you want to do, that's a new brand that I just made. So if I'm going to go back here and looking back at my pages and everything, you can see here, create a new project. On the left side, you see the word brand. So if I'm looking to my brand, these are the two brands that I have. I did read each one on purpose, and these are the files that I gave you if you want to do it. But if you want to do your own one right now, you can load your logo right now. Anybody has their own logo or anything about themselves. So if you have your logo, basically you can click create your brand. If you don't have anything, you can download my files, and in the files you have a lot of stuff in there. But basically what they're telling you over here, upload a logo. So you can go ahead and upload a logo, and over here they're telling you samples, the sample of your branding and how it is going to look. So all what you need to do is just click upload and logo, and they're gonna go somewhere and you can go in and upload a logo and just bring a logo. Another one is go in and pick your colors. So after doing that, you can pick your colors of your brand. They can be part of your logo or part of a general colors that you want to use. And then the next one, you can go in and let's say I did green for now. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to choose my font. So this is the good thing about branding, that you can choose your own fonts, because the regular themes that you have in Adobe Spark is actually you cannot choose your own font. Does that make sense? So they're giving you the fonts that they're using. But now look what I have here. You can add more font from Adobe Creative Cloud, and then you can start looking at different fonts that you want to go and use, and look at that. It's going to go in, and then I can go in through my fonts that I have or give you, and let's say I just did this one. So already while you have it, look what you see over here. They're telling you how your logo and slogan is going to look. I just chose green for now. And then they're telling you if you want to do an ad that looks like that. They're going to tell you how it is going to look if you're going to go in and do a page over here. And they're going to go and telling you how it's going to look if you're doing kind of like a video. So then you can go back here, and once I did that, then I can go back here and I created my whole brand here. Maybe they wanted me to upload a little logo, so I can see if I have my logos here to load. I don't know if I included it. I'm sorry. I should have included that. But I can go into my files and just go into one of my clients. I have a lot of logos that I can use, and then I can go in and see that this is the logo I had before, but I might go in and click on the final logo, and that's going to be kind of like the logo. So you see here. So maybe I'm going to go into, look what he did right away. Because he knows it has a logo with this color, it's smart enough to tell you that these guys are kind of colors that are going to work great with this logo. So I can right away click on the color and then do save, and I have the color, and now I'm going to click next. And then I can call it, I'm going to call it test logo for now, because I might take it away after the class. And then I created my little brand over here. And it takes a while. And then look at this. This is what I have here. And I have now like my brand here. And then I have my test logo, my test, and my colors. And then I can go in, I can add more fonts if I want. So you can see I have this one, but if I want to add more font to that, I can go in and see if the family has another font, or I can stay with this family font and see if I want to go in and use that. And then I can click OK, and then brand, you can go start branding your content. So if I click branding my content, if I go to any content that I'm going to do now, even let's say I'm going to use this one for now, and click create a certificate, which I don't want to do right now, that's going to go in, and then going to go in and maybe thinking about some of your brand that you have, and then it's going to start looking at the stuff that you have and start doing it. Does that make sense? And this one I just opened kind of like a generic stuff to open. I'm not going to even work with it. And one thing I want to tell you though, when you start working on in Adobe Spark, and even if you click, you see I just clicked on something, because it's a web-based application, right away it is going to save it for you right away. But that doesn't mean that you need to go in and use it for anything that you want. What does it mean? I'm going to go back to my branding, and I'm going to go back to my home project, and all of a sudden look at that. I don't want this one. I just showed you how to open it. So you can always go back here and then go down, and then you can go in and, oops, I didn't want to click on it. You can, what I mean is like you can also go back and delete the projects that you have. You can also, if I want to go to any project, let's say this one that I'm showing you. What if I want to show you how to edit it? But I'm not sure how I want to edit it, and I don't like the way I did it. I'm not going to go in and open it to edit, because that's going to edit the old one. If I really wanted to do something and edit, I basically going to go back here, and usually I'm going to duplicate the one that I have, and then it's just going to go back all the way down. I don't know why it does it, but I'm just going to go back here and here, and then it's basically going to duplicate your current project that you have, and then you can go in and give it a different name. So if I'm going to go back here, you can see here I can duplicate it, and then I can say phase 2, and then continue, and then say phase 3, and I'm telling you and alerting you, because when I didn't really pay attention to it, I did something really cool, but then I said, let me try another theme, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it doesn't really look good, and I wanted to do Command Z, Control Z, whatever everybody does. There's no Control Z here. So at least not for now. I don't know if they can do that. So always duplicate. Let's say I'm going to duplicate it. I can give it a different name. Let's say I'm going to call it Creating Portfolio Phase 2. And then I'm going to go in and duplicate it. And now I'm not afraid. I'm going to go to the duplication, open it, and do it another one, and do another one. And then you can go in and delete the one that you don't want. Does that make sense? But be careful. So like this one, I don't want it. I just put it for fun. I'm deleting it. I don't need that. So you can see a lot of stuff here. It's something that I didn't really want, and maybe I played with it a little bit. But you can see here some are instructional videos that I did, and then I made it as a Spark video, and then I put it back into it, and then I put it inside another Spark. So you can do a Spark within a Spark. Does that make sense? Or put any other links to it. So are you interested to create your brand today, or it's okay not to do it? It's up to you. Or shall we move on to create some projects?
I have a question.
Yes.
As a Marshall student, is there any way I can get the Creative Cloud?
For free?
Yeah, for free.
You got to ask Marshalls about it. At the moment, I know that Annenberg students are getting Creative Cloud for free. If I think if you do any minor classes here, I think you can get it. So you can check, but this is not something I know. These are the guys can answer you.
Grad program is so strict, I can't take any of that.
I know, so yeah, but it's just like, yeah, it's depending on the school. Each school has different kind of things that you have. So let's say I wanted to create a page, and let's say I have my brand, so you can see here, all my brands are here, and you can see I can even have another one. Yay, I'm so happy that I have that this is one of my brands, and I can have another one, and I can have another one. But if I didn't want to have this one, I can delete one. Because that's when I did it for test, but I made this one. I can go back in this one. I don't want to delete that, but I can go back in this one and make it default. Why is this one wants to be the default? Because this is my default, because it's my company and everything. I can make that only when I use it for the person I'm doing all the stuff for, and this is a real logo for a company that's called CCPI. So that's why I put it in there, but whenever I do for them presentation, I'm probably going to use that. So let's say I'm going to go in and create a project. And then it's telling you which one you want to create. A flyer, an Instagram post, a Facebook cover, any collages, web page, video, and branded graphic, and you can save you all, and look what it does. It shows you what the stuff that you want. I want to create a web page, which is page. And then I'm going to go back here. I can go in, and they're telling you the most popular ones. They give you, and then you see here, grow your business, teach and study, different ones. But I'm going to just go in and say create project. And then I'm going to go and say web page. And that's when you get when when you didn't get anything, right? A lot of time I look at the others for inspiration, and then I create my own one. So it's kind of like depending how you want to do that. So the first rule is, for me, is add a photo. So you really want the photo to be engaging, almost to tell your story. What are you going to tell with this Adobe page? What are you going to sell in this Adobe page? Are you going to do marketing stuff? Are you going to do public relation? Are you going to do business? Maybe all kind of stuff with that. Maybe do like an image that's going to be engaging, not too busy, and relates to your project, right? Which sometimes it's kind of hard to do, because you say, well, that's the stuff I change all the time in the beginning, because I put an image and I'm like, I don't really like the image that I'm having. Let me do another one. So if you can see here, after branding, that's my presentation. I'm talking about choosing the theme, and then I'm going to talk about creating your image and everything. So I'm going to go back here. So let's say I'm going to click on a photo. So now you can use one of my photos if you want, or you can go in and use some of yours. So if I'm going to click on photo, look what you have here. You can find free photos. So if you do not want to go in, you can find to any free photo somewhere. And if you click on it, they're going to give you a lot of free photos. So if it is something very important to you and you want to do that, you can do that. You can also go to Adobe Stock. That costs money. I always tell the same joke to people. It is free to browse. It's not free to use. So when you start, you have like, I think, 10 free images a month or something like this, and you can start. But be careful from that, because if you don't want to spend the money, use your own images. You can go to the Creative Cloud images that you have. You can go to Lightroom, and anybody uses Lightroom for the photography. So if you do that, you can have it there. You can even have connected to Dropbox, believe it or not. So if you have all your images in Dropbox, you can go in, Google Photo, and Google Drive. So all of it can be right away there. And then you can just say, upload a photo. So if I'm going to go in upload a photo, it's going to ask me, where do you want to upload it from? I have like my picture stuff over here. So if I wanted to go in, let's say I wasn't prepared, I have like folders with my images over here, but I was prepared and I send you some images. And then in the images, you can see here, I have non-digital images that I have. And then I have digital art. So if I want to do stuff about portfolio, about my digital art, maybe I'm going to take some of the images from my digital art right away, or maybe I can take it from the other one. But look at the one that grayed out, they are the Photoshop files. So Photoshop files are not compatible. They have to be JPEG or PNGs. I know it's kind of people say, oh, I have to change it. Yeah, you can see over here, I cannot take right away the video. Video, you cannot upload it directly. You can either put it as a link on YouTube or somewhere else, or make from it a Spark video. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to go in today, and let's say for me, I'm going to make it non-digital. And I also gave you some extra stuff later if you want to read about personal statement and things like this. So I'm writing non-digital, and let's say I want to go into a nice image that I want to represent me. So this one, I know it's big enough. I know I'm using it a lot, but I don't like that as much because I see I have the frame there. So I'm going to go into oil on canvas, and I'm going to go on this one for now. And then I'm going to click here. And then I can see, did I not click on a photo, or maybe it's too big? I'm going to go in, and I click in and click to open. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's too big. Okay, I'm just going to go back here, and let me just put this one. And I don't know what's going on here. And then... oh, that's weird. Isn't it weird? In the middle of a class. Let's say I'm going to go in to find a photo. Let's say, no, I don't want to find a photo. I'm just going to go into my Lightroom, and let's say if it is going to go and take it from there. And if not, I'm going to have to restart. So I'm just going to go back here and select that. Oh, this one. I guess something with my image wasn't great. It's okay. So I put an image from Lightroom right now, which is fine. I always tell myself, don't freak out if things are not working. Now the title. So you can see at the title, this is the part that you want to go and write something about yourself. What are we representing right now? I'm an artist, so I might call it non-digital, or Chana, if I know how to spell my name, non-digital art. And then this I can control. Why? Because that's part of people, I mean, depending on the theme that you have. So let's say I'm going to call it non-digital, so I had it one art, and you have a subtitle, and you can say non-digital art on canvas, paper, and wood. And the reason for me I'm mentioning non-digital, because I'm kind of like doing so much digital stuff, so I'm thinking nobody knows that I do stuff that non-digital. So now, what if I like it or I don't like it, and I don't like what I see in front of it? One thing I want to tell you already, there's no spell check. So somebody like me, not very good. So a lot of time what I do is I prepare everything on Word, I do a spell check, and then I copy and paste it. And then that's on the right side. Look what I have now. These are the theme. Do you see here? The top one, these are my Mac in Art themes. And I called them different names. And then I have my Spark themes. Do you see that? These are the regular Spark themes. So if I'm going to my theme, and I'm going to go to light, or I'm going to go to middle. You don't see it yet. I have a dark one. I have a middle one. You don't even see the difference yet, but it's going to be different a little bit later. But look at this. Non-digital art now, all of a sudden in this little brand that I made it all caps, the title, and I made 2 lines. And in this one, I made it like tiny little lines in it. If I want to use one of my others, I can go into another brand, or I can start using Spark themes. So the Spark themes that you have, kind of going back, like let's say a storybook. If you want to just tell something about a story, if you have something to see different kind of font. But these are going to be the fonts that you're going to use the whole time for the title. You have a nightcap. This one I always suggest to people that have kind of like glary, wonderful images, a lot of time for marketing, and you want to type in white, and the background's going to be black. So it's kind of awesome sometimes. Or photographers use it all the time because they want to feature their images. All what they care is their images. They don't even care so much about the story. We are selling something, and I'll show you a little bit different example about different kind of background. Then you have crisp. You see it changing, whimsy, vintage, if you want to do something completely vintage. I used in the beginning a lot of Bruce. I don't know why. I kind of liked it that it had something kind of in front, kind of reddish. And then I start moving to like another guy like this. But let's try something. I'm just going to go all the way down and use Wellesley. Non-digital art. Non-digital art. Okay, see, I don't like it again, non-digital. So I'm going to say art on canvas, paper, and I like to do like the ensign and wood because I feel like it's more artistic, but you don't have to pay attention to me. Okay, so now I want to start something so you can see all the way down. You can go back here, and now you can go down, and now you start your story. So this is what they're telling you here, and that's the thing that you kind of want to be prepared a little bit unless you start typing right now. So let's say I am going to go to the files that I gave you, unless you have something, and I have 2 statements over here, and then I have like mission over here. So I have like an RTF file over here telling me stories about the stuff that I do and mission statement and everything, and acrylic and pastel. So I might start about me and do that. So I might go in and copy it, and then go back to here, and then I'm going to click inside and click on text. Now I can right away paste it, and then I want to start kind of like fixing it a little bit. So the artist statement, I can highlight it, and they're giving you option to put it on the center, to go in and do it H1, which is a big title, and H2 is a smaller one. Why is it all caps right now? This is the theme. So the small one and the big one for H1 and H2, header 1 and header 2, that's part of this theme that I did. So when you see over here on this guy, I did a different theme. So look at my big heading. It's kind of squarely and everything like this, because that's it. And this is the theme that you can use, any theme that you want while you're working. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're not changing a lot because the theme is going to change it right away. My experience is, make sure, that's based off my experience, when you change the theme, go through the text that you see and try to see if they're not overlapping. Because sometimes I change something and all of a sudden see the return doesn't look good because you cannot control it. What does it mean? I cannot go into the non-digital and click and do a shift return and have art in the center. So that bothers me as an artist a lot, but sometimes I'm saying, I need it in 10 minutes, I live with it. If I really need it to be heavy later, maybe I use something else or fix it later, but this is a annoying issue. But I'm gonna leave it like this, but I wanna have this one, I wanna have it to the center. And maybe I wanna have it bold. So you can go back here and make it kind of bold and make it to the center. I can make it italic. And later on, I'm going to show you can make it into a link. There's not a link over here to do anything, but this is what I want. I just started. So now I'm just gonna do in, and this is my mission statement. So I'm gonna click here, and maybe I'm gonna bring a photo, something that will represent me a little bit, that they're gonna see what I'm doing, and I'm gonna click on loading a photo, and then look what you can do. You can load a photo grid, you can load a glide show, and you can load a split layout. And I'll talk to you a little bit about it, because that's really important to make your story not so linear. So, and then I'll show you when do I use, let's say, a split screen, when do I use a glide show, when do I use a photo grid, maybe I'm gonna use a video, when do I use a button if I wanna use a button. So the first one, maybe I'm gonna go and click a photo, and it goes directly to Lightroom, so I don't wanna go back here, so I'm gonna click here and say upload a photo, and then I'm just gonna go in and upload this one. This doesn't like my photos here for some reason. That's really weird. Look at this, it's already here, not digital. And by the way, did you see the little word invite next to it? This is something new. You can invite somebody to collaborate with you, but if you cannot collaborate if you have a brand, if one is, because it's like the branding one is a little bit more limited. So I'm just gonna go back here, and I have that, and I'm gonna click and add like a photo, and I'm gonna go in and upload a photo, and I'm gonna try to do another one, so you're gonna forgive me and if I click on something else right now, but I'm gonna go back here and do on maybe this one. Not liking it so much. Oh my god, look at this, it's not really loading for some reason. That's really weird. So I'm gonna go upload a photo, and I'm gonna go back here. That's not gonna do that. I hope it not happens to you when you start working, because I just said it's very fast, right? Okay, maybe it has too many things. Luckily, I do have art stuff on my machine, so I can go back here and try to do it from here. And then I'm gonna go in, and maybe it's just wanna go and put it from here. And it still doesn't wanna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna go back here. And is it working for you guys? Try to, I'm just gonna go to my Lightroom and just going in, and I'm gonna have to use some weird images because I don't have all the images, but let's say I have some images of my art over here, and then I can go in and cheat a little bit because some of the images are not JPEG, so I'm just gonna go in and put this one. And I have this image right now. Now I can decide what I want to do with this image. First of all, I can replace it. I can move it a little bit up or down if I want, not that much, but see before the statement or after the statement. So if I'm gonna go in and click on that, it's gonna be artist statement, and it's gonna do that. And then if I click on it, I can make it in the full width right away. So now it's gonna look like that. I can click on it, and I can go and make it inline again. I can make it to fill the screen completely, and then I can make it also to a window right now. So I make it into a window. It's basically looking like this, just a little window. If I want to see what I did so far, I can go into a preview all the way up, and now it's just going to show you how it is going to look. Do you see that this theme that I had has a little kind of square over here? Artist statement, and now you can see that. Over here, this is already my brand that I have there. Does that make sense? I want to get out of the preview. After the artist statement, I want to go and talk a little bit about my art. So I'm going to click on the text, and I'm going to say about my art. You can say about your project, about the things that you have, and I'm going to highlight that, and yes, I'm going to make that again as as title. And then I'm going to go again to my simple text, and then I'm going to go in and highlight something here. And I'm copying it. And again, one thing I want to tell you about the copy and paste, it's not going to remember your style. It's only going to go and copy whatever you have in the generic one. If I want it to be bold, and then I can also go highlight that, and I can make it to the center. But basically, this is something about my art. So I'm telling everybody about my art. Does that make sense? Are you guys uploading my images or your images? Are you able to upload my images or not? I'm curious to see if you're able to upload them.
I couldn't see any of your images when I followed that link.
In this link, there's images to download. I hope they put it in there. Now, let's say in the middle of working, look at this. I hate my theme. Now you see my theme itself. If I go to a middle theme, it's just gonna go in and look at that. That was the theme they did, that it was kind of like light pink or magenta. And look at this. So maybe I wanted to do in that. Don't like that. So I'm gonna go back to nightcap. And look what I have right away on nightcap. That's perfect for real portfolio sometime, because the images might look really great unless they have dark images. Does that make sense? So maybe I'll stay here. So if I go to nightcap and go all the way up here to my stuff, you see here, this one digital state look like this. It looks absolutely different, and you can see the stuff that you have here. So now I want to start adding some stuff. So what if I wanted to show some stuff about my art and then actually talk about it? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say split layout. And I really like, and I'm emphasizing the split layout. Think about it. You have a product that you're advertising, and the product has a model, and the model is holding the bottle already that you're marketing. So maybe you want to have her on the side with the image that you have. Like, that's going to be your core image to advertise. So if I'm going to click on add image, right now it's going to my Lightroom images, which I'm fine. And then if I go in and see more, you can see more of my images. And you can see here, I'm going to go in and look at some images. And I'm just going to go and put something in there. Some of the images that you see there that I have, they grayed out because they were coming from Photoshop. So basically, I'm going to go and choose this one. They're not my art, but we'll pretend. So do you see I have an image here? And it's loading, and it tells you kind of the story of the image. But over here, I can tell the story about what I did right now. So if I'm going to go and click on text, I can say something about this image or product and highlight that, and then I can make it also to a subheading. And now I can go in and click either up or down, and I can add some other stuff. So I can add another photo about it. So think about advertisement. If you have the whole thing on one side, that can be an inset graphics about the product itself. So if I can say view more, I'm going to go back here and look at my images, and I'm going to stay with these crazy images that I have that went to Art Basel, and these are all the beautiful images that I took there. So this is another part of that. And you can see here, that's another thing, and I can say detail. Or you can say inset or something like that. And then in here, you can actually tell the story about it. So if I'm going to go back here, I'm just going to cut something and paste. And then I can go back here to my simple text. And let's say I have another area that I did something else about me. That's a different one that I have here, or maybe I have other stuff that I want to talk about. I'm just going to leave here, and then I'm just going to put this one again right now. And then I'm just going to go back to my Spark and then paste. So that's going to be something about your product. And then maybe you can do a tiny little image and the little product standing there. So that split screen, so gives you more information on one side and other information on the other side. What if you made a movie about this product already and you put it on YouTube or somewhere else? So what you really can do, you click on the bottom and then say button. And you call the button and say, see the YouTube presentation. And then over here, you can just do like www.youtube.com or whatever you need to. And then you click save and look what you have. This one is really a button. This button looks really weird in this one. If I want to look at it in the preview, not all the buttons look the same. You can see over here that you have a little arrow. So if I click here and I did the right URL, of course, I did like a landing page or something like this, that will go directly there. Does that make sense? So it just goes here directly to the URL that you did. And then if I don't want to do the presentation, maybe it's not a good one. If I click on it, I'm going to edit it. And then I'm going to say, see my video. And then I'm going to go www Adobe Spark. And then I'm going to click save. So I made it a little bit different because I didn't want this little weird video to be there because it kind of looked really weird. But now it's going to go back here. Can't reach it because I put some URL that's not okay, which is fine. You understand the idea. And I'll show you how it looks over here, because when I go back here, this is my presentation. That's about me choosing different kind of stuff for your portfolio, and we're going to look at the grid and everything. But everywhere that I have here, I kind of showing you which images. So this is a glide show. We're going to do it in a minute. This is the split grid. And this one is great to use when you have a story and another story within a story. The glide show is great to do it when you have side stories on the side and you want to start showing people what to use there. And then this is a grid, because if you want to show your portfolio or you want to show all the merchandise that you did, you would want to save spots and do that. I will do it in a minute. But you can see here, this is actually a button, a real button. And it says Art by Chana non-digital. What does it mean? It's going to go in and open another place, and happens to be an Adobe Spark presentation, and that's my non-digital art. So if somebody wanted to see it within my portfolio, you can see my fine art portfolio, and has a lot of other links in there and everything. So all the way down, you'll see more links that you have. So you can go back and forth between them. You can also have just a link. Let's say external link. Check out my Adobe blog. Check out my blog about my marketing. Check out another blog about public relation that we hosted over here in the program. And if you click here, that will take you to a blog or somewhere else or anything that's external. And that's what I like, because you don't have to have everything in there. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to go back here, and I can go into back to here, and you see here. So this is a video. I uploaded this video. Where did I put it? I put this video on my YouTube, kind of like did a little thing, and that's a YouTube. I mean, there's nothing to hear here, but you can see me talking about the presentation, and I'm presenting something, and then of course there's sound and everything here. We don't want to listen to that, but that's kind of a video. This one before, that's a video that I made in Adobe Spark and put in. So in a minute you'll see, when we want to put a video in our stuff right now, you'll see what it's asking you for. It's going to ask you for either YouTube or somewhere else that you have a landing page or something, or it's asking you to put it inside Adobe Spark. And this one is a video from Adobe Spark. So I'm gonna go back to my stuff here, and then this is my area, and let's say I want to go in and continue doing my stuff that I have and make sure I did not use this one. I have it. So see my video, and I can get out from the preview. And then I'm gonna go in now and continue, and now I want to go and maybe talk about, maybe put a grid, and I'll show you how to put stuff for a grid. So I'm gonna go back here. A lot of time I right away do a title, and then my favorite abstract photos. And then I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to put it to the center. And then another thing is you want to have all of them the same. So if you decided that his section has like H1, like the main heading, don't do the other one not, because that's going to confuse everybody. So I'm going to go in and do a photo grid. And then I'm going to go to my Lightroom, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to select 1, hold on the shift key, 2, 3, 4. If it's not next to each other, you hold on the control key, 5 and 6. That's it right now. And I'm going to go and select that. And look what you have here. In the beginning, when you are having it, they're showing you how it's going to look, and you have to do save. And this is what you have in your grid. And you can add a caption. So you can also in the caption say left to right, because the caption is a generic caption. So you can say left is this one, right is this one, or can say oil on canvas. And actually this is a good example. These are not my images. What if somebody in your job that you work in a public relations stuff say, create a portfolio for somebody else right now, which happen to be these guys, so you get other images, and they have to send you all the information they want to send, because you can, you can write or not write for them. So now, if I want to look at it, first of all, I can select that, and I can edit the grid. And what does it mean? I can go in and edit the grid. I can go in and bring other places and things like this. And now I can go in and select in 1 and 2 and all kind of stuff like that. And then basically I can go into a preview. And then in the preview, what I have here, each time you're going to click on, it's going to bring it on the big screen. And now people can look at that like this, which is kind of cool. I mean, this one is not a very good image, and that's what I have over here. Does that make sense? So anytime that you have some stuff here, you're going to go and do different things. And now I can continue and doing some other stuff here. So what if I wanted to go in now and add a glide show? And then I might go back here and call it about the art, but you might do it about the product or about the stuff that you do, and align it to the center. And then I might do a glide show. And I'll show you some sample of where do I use glide show a lot. And I'm gonna go in and click on this area, and I'm going to put this image, and that's going to be part of my glide show. And I'm going to click save. So basically, what if you want to talk about it? So what you see here on the side now, do you see those little pluses? Now you can click on this plus, and in this plus you can add a photo, text, button, and also a video. What does it mean? If I click photo, of course, it takes me back to my Lightroom again. And if I go into certain little photos that I have, and I'm going to go into minor photos I have. So I'm going to select one, hold down my command key, select this one, and I'm going to go in and select that one and that one, and click import selected. Look what I have it. I have it all the way to the side, and it comes with different kind of sections. So pretend it's your product. So you can go in and the first one on top, give it a title, and going to click that, and I might call it variations. And then maybe do it like a small subtitle. And then underneath each one, you can add a caption. And you can add and tell the story what it is. You can also, underneath every one that you have, you can click and then put a story there and tell it all about the product that you have. So basically, you're saving some kind of space and tell a story kind of on the side. Does that make sense? So if I'm going to go back to my split grid over here, and I'm going to show you how it works here. Let's say I'm going to do, and we're going to go to the preview and everything. You can see here I have some stuff that has, let's say I'm going to go into a story, and I have it creating like a story of my family. I'm just showing you a little story that's not a product, because what I really want to show you how I use these sections. So look at that. I have the image and I have the theme, and I have an introduction, and that was a window over there, and this one is a story, and this one are images, and you can see that's a window, images, a big story, but now I have a sub story. So do you see that's a glide show? And then I'm going to go another one and another one, and that's going to be maybe another glide show. And then I'm going to go another one and another one, and maybe I have, so these guys are, I'm going to go in, these are going to be like together. These are images, inside images. These are the grid that I have there. Grid, and links and everything that I have, kind of like in the end. Does that make sense? So basically, you can go in and show some that. So that's where you use that. When else do I use it? I use it also when I do presentation for how to use something. I'm going to go and do a glide show. So like you see here, if you click on sample pages, you can click on every time. Like I made, that's actually marketing. I made a pop-up stuff for a restaurant in Adobe Spark. For somebody that it's done, it's not happening anymore, but somebody who did not have money for any web and anything. So you can see here all the stuff that I have here. Basically the story of the food. I know you're gonna get hungry right now. Link to how to order. And this is kind of a glide show and all the stuff that you have. They happen to now want so many images. They wanted just to tell the story, but that's showing you how you do market something that you're going to do it kind of like immediately while you work there. So I'm going to go back to my regular one. Now all of a sudden I don't like my theme. So right away I might go back here and give it kind of like a lighter theme, because I feel like it's just not working for me. So it will absolutely do it right away for you. And then if I'm going to preview it, you can see right away, if I go to preview, it will go in and show you right away the stuff that you have. Non-digital, do you see now I have it on a light background? And look at the split screen, looks a little bit different. And look at see my video. Kind of looks like a certain button. In this case, I could not change it to another one. I had red one because I use a different theme. And then I have that, and then I have the glide show. So what else do you have to just add to the stuff to the presentation? I'm going to go back here. I did a photo grid. I have a glide show. I did a split layout. You have a simple one, you have buttons, and you have videos. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to call it sample videos. And then if that's another area, I'm going to go back here and click, and you see now it looks a little bit different. Now I'm going to click to load something, and look at that. If I want to load a video, look what it tells me. Add an embedded video. It should be a link on Vimeo, YouTube, or Spark Video. That's all what it wants you to do. So if you have anything on YouTube that you want to put in there, so let's say I'm going to go into a new tab for a minute if I didn't prepare it, and then I don't have a big YouTube stuff, but I'm going to look at my little YouTube there, and I have very few images that I have there, and then usually it's explanation how to do some stuff. But let's say I'm going to show live paint on black ink. And I'm going to click on it. And I actually do not want to listen to my voice right now. But I'm just going to go in and right click on it and copy the URL. I copied the URL, and I'm going to go back to my Adobe Spark, and I'm going to go and paste it. And I'm going to go and save. And you see right away, look at this. It's already there. So if I click on it, you can see it right away. I highly recommend you don't need to do that. But whatever you have, you see a little video. So you can post links to Vimeo. A lot of people put it on Vimeo and put everything like this. Or you can start creating your Spark video. And that's the next thing we're going to look at. So now, if I wanted to create a Spark video, I'm going to close some of my stuff here, so I'm not going to get confused. But this is the one that I want to work with, so I'm going to pin it to the side here. And then I'm going to go back. I want to work with that. And this is regular Adobe Spark. And now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to start again. And I'm going to do something new. And in this case, I am going to go in and I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to create a video. And let's say you can say, so the video already warning you could be a video that includes another video, but not very long, because they're not going to tell you to do a long video. But maybe you do a little shot of a video and then you start from that. Or it can be a video that it's kind of like something that you tell a story directly in Adobe Spark. Could be great for it's something that you do, because you can have your, let's say you're collaborating on a project, and then you created this little battle together, and it's awesome, but you're partnering on it. So one of you say, this is the project, you know, somebody takes a video of you, even on the iPhone, and let me talk about it. So you can upload in the beginning, but then you talk about it, so you can have images. So that's going to be one of you, right? So you can call it all about my battle project. And then you can click next. And now they tell you, you want to go in and say how to promote. They're giving you ideas, and they're going to say, do you want to take an idea and use this one? Tell what happened, tell a story, show and tell, personal growth, invitation, teach a lesson. They give you an idea, or you can say, you know what? I'm going to start from scratch because I really don't know what I'm doing. That's what happens to me a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look at it, but I'm kind of use my own in the end. And that's what opens in the beginning. And then you're going to go back here, and if you want, you can say welcome and say get and add a video, and they're going to show you a little tutorial right away. I'm going to click on it, and now you can start doing something. And they're telling you, what do you like to load? Would you like to load a photo? Would you like to load an icon that they have, you like text? But all the way to the right, you have some kind. Do you want to have it full screen, split screen, caption, and title? But also, what do you have here? You have your same themes over here. So you're going to have the same themes that I have for my, let's say, branding. But then all the way down here, you have different kind of that, because that's going to be a little bit different. So I can go in and click, let's say, on the elevate. No, I don't want to do elevate. So I can go in and look at the theme that I have and then see if I can get more. And let's say I'm going to go in and click Grace. No idea what it is, but whatever it is. So now that's your theme to start with. Now I'm going to click on here and then I'm going to add a photo. So I'm going to go in and upload a photo, and now it wants to go here. Let's say if this one will do that. This one was doing it. I really now, beside myself, don't know what's going on here. Remember, I couldn't load them. Now they're here. Yay. So now on top of the photo, do you want to put a text? So I'm going to go in and I can say, welcome to my beautiful project. You know, you want to go on BEAU, yeah, beautiful project. So I can go back here, I can go and add text more, I can delete the text, I can do anything that I want, and I can go back here to back forth to the layout, and that's going to be basically a full screen, and it's going to be there, and that's my project. So now I have it here. Now I want to go back here and add something. So they're asking you, what do you want to add to it? Do you want to add a video about your project? Do you want to add the little video that you did before? So if you already have a little video that you have there, I can click on video and I can find if I have any video that I have somewhere, and then I'm going to go back here and see if I have any kind of videos that I want to go and bring. And I'm going to go in and look at here, and let's say if I have some kind of images that I have, and then I don't have a video over here, and I'm going to look if I have these are Spark. Okay, yeah, I have a video. I found a little video. Actually, this is a video about art, and this is what you have here, and you can decide how much of the video you want to have, and then you can click save. So if the video is really long, you can kind of like edit it over here and then see. I highly recommend not to do a lot of big ones, and then this is what you have over here. And then if I want to go and click and see it, you can see here, welcome to my beautiful project, and it starts showing you the video and whatnot, and I'm previewing it, and you can do all kind of little tricks with it and things like this. If I'm done with that, I can go after that, and now I can go in and add something. So I can add now, let's say I'm going to go in and do a split screen. It's going to work exactly like the other one. You can have a photo over here. You can have an image. So let's say I'm going to go into a photo, and I'm going to go and upload a photo somewhere. I'm just going to go back here, and I have a little photo. And then over here, I'm going to go in and maybe do another little photo. And then I'm going to go back here and click to a smaller photo from the same area and click open, and that's going to be another photo. Or I don't want a photo, I can delete this photo, or I can move them. So complete split screen with 2 photos and everything, or you can go back here and just add. So you can do either or over here, and then I can go back here and add the text. Does that make sense? So you can decide, and I highly recommend, and then over here you can decide how long you want it to be there. So if, and why am I showing you that? Because you can even do a voiceover on top of that. So what it means that, let's say, and I have a terrible voice, but I'm just going to show you. I don't know if it's going to work with this recording, but if you wanted to record something, you're going to click here, and while you're holding it, it's going to say something. Now it's already saying it. So it's going to say, hey, welcome to my project, and here it is, and this is what are we going to do today. And now, yeah, and while you're holding it, it's going to say something. Now it's already saying it. So it's going to say, hey, welcome to my project. And here it is. And this is what are we going to do today. So why am I? Because if you have bunch of images to go after rather, you can make a voiceover and figure out and then stay with there for a while and explain. Or maybe you want to all of a sudden in the presentation make this one a little longer because you want to talk to the people about it. So you can do different kind of presentation. You can shoot it or you can talk about it. So depending, maybe somebody has a nice voice from your team and they're going to tell everything and explain it. In the end, what you can do credit. Created my work, add your own credit and all kind of stuff like that. And this is basically an option that if you want to have your brand over there, you can go and do that. So what if I really want to go in now, because I want to put it in my other project. I can go back and download it. First of all, you can download it and send it to somebody. But you can also share it. You can see the new one, you can invite somebody else to work with you. The truth is I didn't really test it yet with so many people how to put some stuff together, but I can also go and share and publish. So here it is, you can go and do a subtitle and all about my art, and then fine art and more. Really important to do a really good subtitle and title because people will jump into this. The author, do you want to get noticed and the Adobe stuff that, and then pick a category. So it's business, cause, education, event, food, or something like this, and photography and others. So maybe that's going to be some kind of other, and then I'm going to go create a link. And it's basically creating for me a link. And sometimes it's longer than the other, and you can really create some fun stuff there. And you have to explore. One thing I want to talk to you about, sometimes few features are better on your device a little bit, and some features it's more comfortable to be in this one. So you can go back and forth. Whenever you update, that's okay. You can update and they can jump. So now you can see here, I can copy it. If I feel like it's amazing, you can even put it right away on Facebook. You can tweet it. There is Spark Classroom. You can email to your friend. You even embed it somewhere. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go into this one. And I'm going to click and do another video. And now I'm just going to go in and put this video here. Yay. So you see already? I have my video here. If I want to see it, I'm going to go into either presentation mode or a preview mode. So you can go in and look at it right away. And by the way, I don't have it on my device, which is really tough. But you can see here, it goes in. And by the way, do you see it took some generic music? I didn't even look at it. But you can use music that they give you. If you really want to use other music, you can upload it. I just want to alert you with one thing. Copyright. And I'm going to say it again. Yeah. And while you're holding it, it's going to say something. Okay. Now it's already saying it. So it's going to say, hey, welcome to my project. And here it is. And this is what we're going to do today. So a lot of time, you know, if I do something like this, I'm going to ask like my friend to like play something on the guitar or something. Either do original music or ask or do like public domain or something like this if you have. Or when you go in to do it, you can go in, let's say, and you can add your own music over here. So if I'm going to go, oh, where is this one? I just published it, and that's my video. And I want to go back here and let's say change some stuff. I can go in now and change the theme. And then I can go back here and look at music. I even didn't look at music yet. And look at what you have. This is highway and relaxed music and base railroad or whatever it is. And you can go back here and look at that different one. You can add your music too. And that's what I'm saying. When you click on that, that should be a music that you have the right for it. Otherwise, you can use that. But I'm giving you some stuff, probably little public domain. The truth is, I'm using it sometime. Can you edit music here? Absolutely. I don't think you can do it all the way. So when you want to do like a real engaging video, like blasting with something crazy, do it in Premiere or Premiere Rush, and then put it on YouTube, and then put it in your Spark presentation. So you can have to look at the whole scenario in front of you, what you have. So I can go back here, I can change the theme right away. So different kind of themes. I can go in and change the layout to anything that I have. So if I want to go back here and add, let's say, another stuff. And by the way, I just put another image over here. I can go in and just do an icon. And you can look at icon. And I'm going to call an icon Fine Art. I am not crazy about the icons so much, but I'm going to call art. And it's going to look at different icons. And you can see here, as soon as you click on icon, basically this is what you're going to get. This is basically when you get, and you can go and put, I think and you can go in now to the images that you have, and you see I have an image, and on top of the image I have the icon and everything that I have. So you can go with that. So I did it, and after the welcome, so that's going to look like that right now. And you can decide how long you want it to be and how do you want to work with it. And then you can go to this one. So they're giving you different kind of areas. You can resize it. You can work on the layout that you have. And you can do it full screen and not full screen over here and play with it. When you go to your device though, it might look a little bit different. And they're giving you few options and little animation to go inside into each other. But these themes too, each theme is going to look a little bit different. And it is going to go and make it with colors. Do you see that? This is the theme. So it's going to look a little bit different, and you see it puts some glare or color on top of it. Does that make sense? And then you can share and you can download. If you want to go and download it, you can just download your movie for anything that you have. Does that make sense? But the biggest thing for you guys, after you're finishing doing it, taking it somewhere else. So let's say if you're doing it for a project or a presentation in a class, that's great for your project. But what if you really, really want to do it as a project and also promote yourself? So the two ways of doing it. So after doing that, that comes this one. Promote your portfolio with anything. So you can promote it with Adobe Spark Post. And you can see I did a little post over here. And I like, by the way, to do the post on the device, because the post on the device has some animation. And then let's talk about other stuff that we can add. Important things to remember. Think about the structure. That's the first thing you want to do. And I mentioned it in the beginning, and I mentioned it again. So the structure, you have to do it in advance. Use your images to tell the story. What does it mean? I end up, because I had kind of like a problem with my upload, but you really want to take your images, look at them and scan them in advance and say, which is the one that's going to tell my story the best way? Because you have a lot of images. So if you're a photographer even, let's say a photographer does landscape a lot. He might use a lot of it, but not all of them, not to overwhelm the people and say, here are some collection from my stuff that I did. If you do product and marketing, definitely you have to look at your images and take great photographs and say, which one tell my story? And then maybe have a model holding it. Because I had a student last semester, we did some kind of like the same workshop. She brought her images. She did a product where like to put some nails, kind of a different little product. So she ended up like having a lot of images of colors and nails and bottles and everything. So you have to remember to take that, and that's creating an engaging page. And then add the following. Somewhere contact information, resume, education, social media links, or any information that you want to include in this portfolio. What does it mean? If I'm going to go back here and look at my other image that I have, and let's say I'm going back to this area. I'm gonna select that, and I'm gonna go in to the main one that I had before, and then I'm gonna call, I went out from Spark, and I'm gonna go spark.adobe.com. That's will take you right away to your landing page, and then that's the first time I see that. Okay. I don't want to add this. Okay. What I do, I take a lot of, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back here. So what I do a lot is I'm going to take this by places like this, and I just put my links over here for all the Sparky that I have. So I have it by subject, and right away it takes you to the area that you have, and now I'm like inside my presentation. So now I'm going toward the end to show you what I have here. So look what I have, this one, and that's what I'm talking about. This is like showing you how to create the video here. This is stuff promoting your portfolio. I'm going to do Adobe, but this is the end. So look at that. I have my little image of mine. I mean, every time I'm making it a little smaller because I don't want to make a big one. So I did a little thumbnail of that. I wrote everything about what I do or who I am, if I think somebody. Then I have like my email, my Twitter, and then I have, let's say, my Behance page. So if you end up doing some stuff there, this is my Behance page, and you can see part of my portfolio over here and all kind of stuff like that. And then I can go in, and it takes you right away to this area that you have. So then I can go there. I can go directly to Instagram, and right away somebody is going to see my little silly Instagram here and the images that I lately posted, and that could be maybe some Instagram dedicated to your project, or any Instagram that you have if you start promoting it. And I have it over here, and I have a link to LinkedIn, and you can go right away to my profile, because maybe somebody wants to hire you and go right away. So this is the ones that I chose to put in there. You can put other stuff. Social media is super important when you go in and to put it in your Adobe Spark. Does that make sense? So now if I'm going to go back here, let's say again here, this is my video and I don't want to do anything. We'll go into the easy ones. I call it the easy one, but that's when you create a flyer, an Instagram post, a Facebook cover, collage, and all this stuff. So I'm going to go in and let's say go in Instagram post. And that's going to be Adobe Post. And then I can go back here, and then I can go back here and start doing a project. So I can go back here and then go in and add stuff. So I can go in and add a photo. And let's say if my upload photo is going to go away, and maybe we'll do that. And then I'm going to go in and asking you to move it freely or pin it as a background. Maybe I want to go in, and for now I'm going to go in and move it freely so I can move it anywhere. So that's kind of like a new thing. So you can go back here and do the stuff, and then you can go in and play with the opacity. You can go back here and play with the stuff. You have something new that you can crop the stuff that you have now. You couldn't have done it before. You can pin it as a background, or you can replace it. If I pin it in the background, it's just going to go in and do a background. Still, I can go back here and move it around. And then I can go back here and click on that and then just add some other stuff. So I can go in and add some text. And this one tells you what kind of text that you want to add to here. So you can go back and forth, and then I can add my own text. So I'm going to go in and say, see my new page on Spark. And then this one's going to tell you how do you want to have it. Do you want to have it to the side? Do you want to have it as a primary text? You're going to go in and have the spacing here or not. And I can go in and switch also in between. I'm going to switch to a brand if I don't want to. This one, it stays here. I can go into my type and I can go in and change it. If I want, I can go into the size. I can go in and put it like this. You can see you have line spacing, opacity, and all kind of stuff like that. And all the way here you have the shapes. So maybe you want to go in and do a shape that looks like that, or like that, and do the padding over here, and then go back here, and maybe you don't want to do any shape that you have there, and then you're going to say I don't want to do any shape. You can move that around. So this is basically, you are like, let's say in Photoshop or Illustrator for a minute, but it takes you faster. And then sometime you can go and do that. You can go back here and put it here. A lot of time I end up putting all kind of stuff and I don't like what I do, but I can also put stuff like this. So these are like WYSIWYG. You can do anything that you want over here. And then just go back here and just do that. So basically we have colors over here, and you're going to choose colors. And these are my brand color, and this is the suggested color that they give you all of a sudden, because maybe, and this is all colors if you want to do. And this one are the effects. So there's not a lot. So that's the part when you go to your device, the type can go in and out, so you can make kind of a little video. I do not know why they still did not edit here, but they might do it in the future. And then you're gonna go into the style, and then you can go back here, and it goes around the text style for you. So if I'm gonna go in and add an image and upload a photo, it might take away this one. I don't remember if I did the right one. And then I'm gonna say move freely. And now I have another one. So basically you can go and create kind of like a nice collage now by yourself. You can go in and have a theme to go and do that, but in this case I can put another one and put it in there, and then I can rotate it if I want and do anything that I want. I can flick it. I can add to the collage. So I can go in and scale it and rotate it a little bit, and then that's what I have over here. And then I can add more and more stuff as I go. I can even, I think, add a logo. And this is my primary logo that I have there, and this is how I want to have it. And now if I like that, I can go back here and share. I can add another image, replace an image, and I can click on share. So I'm going to go and publish it. Once again, in the publish, it's going to ask you if you want to create a link. And then you can go in and create a link. A lot of time when I do that, believe it or not, I download it. I love downloading it as a PNG. And I'll tell you why. Because then if I want to upload it to anything else, I have like a floating PNG, and I can put it directly into Instagram and just do it there. So now if I'm going to go back to my project, you can see right away I have it here. I can invite people to share it with me. I can go back here, and I also right away go to the other project that I have, and then go in the one I was building, and I'm gonna go in and add a photo. But in this case, it still remembers that I had a photo from here, which I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go in and upload a photo, and then I'm gonna go to my desktop, and I think I put it in my downloads, and you can see somewhere in your download, I don't remember where I downloaded it to. Could have gone to my, oh, here it is. And it's still doing the same thing in mine. Do you see that? I have no idea why it does it. Maybe it's memory. just likes right away this one. So you know what? I do have some actually posts over here. Actually, this is a post that I made. And then I'm just gonna load it. I made that with post. So I made the frame in post. I made everything in post. I drew it in Adobe Fresco. I mean, the image itself. But writing like the whole thing and everything, I just did it in post. So in the end of the day, what you want to do here, that's when you start your credit. So I actually have all the credit in the same place. So I'm just going to do like something like this. And I'm going to start putting the credit. So I'm copy and pasting it all the time. So I don't have to do it again and again and again. So you have your credit, who you are, what do you do, and everything. So I basically go into any of the stuff that I have, and I can just do stuff like this. And then paste. And then if I wanted to go in and put it to the center, I'm going to go and put it to the center. If I want to have my image, I'm going to put my image there. And here I'm going to start doing my buttons for LinkedIn or whatever you want to start. So you're going to start creating a button to everything that you have. I didn't put Twitter. I should put maybe Twitter there because I tweet a lot. So maybe follow me on Twitter and things like this. I changing depending on the story. And of course, sometimes I do a story just for portfolio and I just want them to see just my Behance portfolio. So I end up cleaning it a little bit, and sometimes I put my image, sometimes I don't put my image. Whatever I do in the end, I'm going to look at that. You also have a little setting over here, and then you can see I want to show my footer or not. So if now it's not going to show the footer that I have, a yes. And then you can track it in analytics and things like this if you have enough people looking at it. But the thing is, how people going to know about it? That's your work. Because you can start tweeting it, or you can start posting it. A lot of people posting it a lot on Instagram. Do link in your bio. Like, the truth is, I started like selling some of my artwork now on a store. So I just created link in the bio and start putting in my Instagram, bang, 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 bang. So people go away and look at that right away. So you can see that. So if you go in now again into my Instagram, you're going to see that the last one, I mean, not the last one, and this is something that it's my painting, but I decided to go in and sell it as a little pillow right away. So if you go back here and click here, you can see right away that you can see that, and that will take you to the store. And then that's, I mean, people want to go in and maybe shop and do stuff like this. So you can do, but the thing is, this is the stuff that you need to do by yourself. Whatever you are, you have to promote it as much as you want. So it's almost like if you're doing a website, and depending on how much links you do that, you put it everywhere. Does that make sense? So before we kind of like open it to Q&A, I'm just going to look here at the presentation, and let's say I'm going to make it as a presentation, and we're going to look at it kind of like that. So you can see here I changed it as I went back and forth, but you can see here the artist statement. It's not going to look like this. It's going to look not so many spaces over here, because that's kind of like the presentation mode. And then you can see here you have the alt, you have about my art, and this one is your glide show. Love using the glide show, especially for marketing. It's you can tell a whole story on the side and make it absolutely non-linear. And of course you have the videos and all the stuff like that. And what I also mentioned, see this one, if you don't want this one to show, that's when you turn it off. And that's why in some of the places that I have some kind of presentation, I would have a link somewhere else. I'm just going to show you what I mean. And then I'm just going to open for a minute InDesign. How many of you using InDesign? And that's something really good to learn in the future for little presentation, because it's your layout program, right? But I'm not kind of trying you to use it or something like this, but I'm going to go back here, and there's something awesome look like publish online on InDesign. And then I'm just going to go to my publish online dashboard. That's my dashboard. And then this is some things that I can do. Like let's say I'm teaching you about to style a logo or how to create a logo, or I'm teaching you to make your portfolio a little bit better and take your images and make them more engaging. So do you see that? These are engaging images, but the whole presentation was done in InDesign. There is a link online on it. So I can take the link and put it into my Spark presentation. And this is more like step by step. Do you see that? Telling them exactly, do this, do that. And over here also, these the important links. Also, if you go and send the link for somebody, they can click on it and go directly to it. So it's really absolutely clickable right away. So you can add all these links inside Publish Online. Does that make sense? So if I'm going to go back here to this area, you can see here, I can go in and share the publication with somebody, or I can have it as a link. So if I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go into the Spark presentation we were building, I'm going to say maybe go back here, and I'm going to say, even I can call it a button, and I can name the button more information. And over here, I'm going to paste it, center, and over here. So later on, if you go in even to a preview, and you go into more information, look where it gets. Do you see the crossover between them? So you basically publish something online, or in this case, put a handle of PDF somewhere, and put it into your Spark presentation and send the entire link to the Spark people. Does that make sense? Any questions? Anything that you want me to go over, talk to you a little bit about? Anything, concerns that you have? Any ideas? And do you think it's going to help you in the future? Yes?
When we publish our pages, where do they get published?
They get published on a portal in Spark, and as long as you have your Creative Cloud, that's your portal there. I don't know later. I mean, I think if we don't have, I think you can still retrieve them. And I can tell you another thing that you can do too. Whenever I have my things that I have my Adobe Spark, when I start working with it, I also go in, and when I go in and share it, you can also go back here nowadays, and then you can go and print it. And meaning like you can basically go in and print it as a PDF. And that's what I do all the time. It doesn't look as great, but it still have all the information there. But I think they're telling you that you're gonna still have the links for it. The only thing that you don't have is a personal link. I cannot say right now, Chana Messer Art. I wish I could, but maybe in the future is a request. But it is going to the Adobe Spark up there. Yeah. Yes.
As like as you're starting out like a very unestablished like artist, is that a bad thing to not have your own domain? Like, would employers or clients see that?
I don't think so. I think the best thing for you as an established beginner, go on Behance, create a portfolio there. And you can still have your name there, but it is an Adobe domain, but you don't pay for it. And you go into the Behance and everything. Later on, if you don't have Creative Cloud, you can take it and do a domain. So just depending how long you have your Adobe Creative Cloud and things like this. But in the beginning, at the start, maybe you don't want to invest in a domain so much. I had it for a very long time and I took it down because I realized that it wasn't maybe a great, like I didn't have a search engine, like the best one. So, because I did it myself and I'm not a pro in search engine. You want to have a person that does it perfect for you. I did it myself in Dreamweaver, so it was like, somewhere in between. So I took it off and I did the portfolio of Behance, and what I do a lot, I go to Behance a lot. If you click, they click. So you tell them you do that, and I'll tell you what to do is create a nice profile on LinkedIn. I cannot say enough about that. I put it all the time. Every time I do something new, I post it on LinkedIn. I post it, and people start seeing you, and I get a lot of people like looking for work, and they're calling me. So LinkedIn, a good portfolio, and you put like, even I put like, every time I do another like Spark thing, if I go to my LinkedIn right now, you can see that I have a presentation there. Bunch of presentation right away. And then if I can click on my profile right away, you can see the stuff that I present and things like this. And you can see right away all kind of stuff that I can put in on my my places, and the see an article or something like this. I writing article, I posting all kind of stuff, and then I have notification right away from people that see the stuff that I have. So you can see here, like right away I put in, and people notify, and you can see here right away that people will respond and send you messages and all the way there. So I go back and forth to LinkedIn to do that. Yeah. And then see posting activity. So you can see here people posting, so I answer them, and I answer them, and they answer me, and I post that, and I post all kind of stuff. So right away there's a whole talking there, and then you can put there the stuff that you have. That makes sense. And you don't have to take the premium in the beginning. I happen to have a premium, but in the beginning you can have any, and put stuff on your Instagram and make it nice and short and wonderful. My Instagram is a combined one, so I have art and others. I wish I didn't do it like this, but I might think about, and by the way, I think this one is a video, and then I think I did it on post, or maybe not, I don't remember. Oh, this is showing, yeah, showing you like how you draw it. So some stuff, so I have a combination of all kind of stuff, but a lot of them are kind of like little art that you do. So the more social media, the more you're gonna get stuff. Any other questions? What are you learning? Like, what are you doing? Marketing or?
Yeah, like advertising and stuff like that.
So for you,
I run a startup. So
hey, cool. Startup, there's so many. You should Google startup presentation on Adobe Spark blogs, and also on Behance.
Okay.
Behance gonna give you so much information about how it's going and how you present it. And startup is really based on how many people are gonna look at it, and then you need investors and all kind of stuff like that. You know, I don't have to tell you.
So a lot of the stuff that I've been like haven't been able to like cover because I've been trying to raise money and build a team is like the brand identity stuff. We actually went live in December. So we're a social impact play for celebrity and athletes to help raise money for their foundations. So we have a web platform right now, and we're trying to develop a iOS and Android app. So being able to show investors the user experience, as well as showing like potential partners on the celebrity, athlete, and on streetwear brand side, like the added value our company would bring to them by working.
Wow, it's wonderful. So you can do a beginning with Adobe Spark just to be there. Then you can also do a prototype on XD, if you're familiar with Adobe XD, because you can really prototype almost the app there,
Yeah.
almost the entire app.
So
I mean,
right now we use Figma and we use InStudio, but I've been trying to have everything all in the same place.
yeah.
So
So look at Adobe XD. It does awesome stuff.
okay.
Absolutely.
So like wireframes.
You can do the whole thing. You can do the wireframe. You can do everything. Like, see here, you can open something. You can, I mean, if I go in, these are my recent ones. And then I have a lot of arrows today, but like you can start something, and then you can just start prototyping. That's it. And everything is WYSIWYG. So you can go back and forth and drag and drop, and you can go back here and choose your template and all kind of stuff.
Templates already as well.
They have template for you already. You also have CC libraries.
Okay.
And then they also have iOS kits, material design, Microsoft, wireframe, and more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going